Right now, in this very moment, someone is thinking about you. Someone is waking up to the truth of who you really are. They're seeing past the masks, past the walls, past all the things you thought you needed to hide. And here's what I want you to understand. They're not seeing your flaws. They're not focusing on your mistakes. They're seeing your light. They're recognizing something magnificent in you that perhaps you haven't even recognized in yourself yet. You see, we spend so much of our lives worried about what people think of us. We wake up in the morning and we put on our armor. We rehearse our conversations. We try to control how others perceive us. We edit ourselves. We diminish ourselves. We make ourselves smaller because somewhere along the way someone told us that who we are isn't quite enough. But here's the truth that will set you free. You were never meant to be anyone other than exactly who you are. Think about this for a moment. There are over 8 billion people on this planet, and not one of them has your exact combination of experiences, talents, perspectives, and gifts. Not one. You are literally a once-in-all-of-eternity event. The universe will never again create another you. So, when you're trying to be like someone else, when you're dimming your light to make others comfortable, when you're hiding your true self because you're afraid of judgment, you're actually depriving the world of something it desperately needs. You're withholding your gift. And right now, someone is waking up to that gift. Maybe it's someone you've known for years, and suddenly they're seeing you with new eyes. Maybe it's someone new who's just entered your life and they can see clearly what you've been too close to recognize. Maybe it's someone who's been taking you for granted, and life has shown them what it would be like without you. Whoever it is, they're having a moment of clarity about you, and that clarity is going to change things. But here's what I really want you to hear. The most important person who needs to wake up about you is you. Because you can't attract what you don't believe you deserve. You can't receive love if you don't love yourself. You can't be appreciated by others in the way you deserve if you don't first appreciate yourself. Everything in your external world is a reflection of your internal world. When you change the way you look at yourself, the way others look at you will change too. So many of us are walking around with an outdated story about ourselves. We're operating from a script that was written years ago, maybe decades ago, by people who didn't even know us. Maybe it was a parent who was struggling with their own issues. Maybe it was a teacher who had a bad day. Maybe it was a relationship that ended badly. And we took those moments, those judgments, those rejections, and we made them mean something about our worth. We created an identity around them. But those stories aren't true. They never were. You are not the sum of other people's opinions. You are not defined by your past mistakes. You are not limited by what didn't work out before. Every single moment is a new opportunity to choose differently, to think differently, to be different. You are not a fixed entity. You are a constantly evolving expression of infinite potential. When someone wakes up about you, what they're really doing is seeing past the false self you've been projecting and recognizing the real you underneath. They're seeing the kindness in your heart that you try to protect. They're noticing the strength you've developed through your struggles. They're appreciating the unique way you see the world. They're valuing the contribution you make just by being yourself. And this is happening right now. While you're listening to these words, someone's mind is turning toward you with appreciation, with respect, with love, with admiration. They're realizing they haven't told you how much you matter. They're recognizing they took you for granted. They're understanding, maybe for the first time, how rare and valuable you truly are. But let me tell you something else. Even if no one else ever wakes up about you, even if you never receive the recognition you deserve from the outside world, you still have an obligation to wake up about yourself. Because your worth is not determined by whether others see it. Your value is inherent. It exists whether anyone acknowledges it or not. You are worthy because you exist, not because of what you do or what you achieve or who validates you. This is one of the hardest lessons we have to learn. We've been conditioned to seek approval from external sources. We've been taught that our value comes from our accomplishments, our appearance, our status, our relationships. But all of that is temporary. All of that can change. All of that is outside of your control. The only thing that's permanent, the only thing that's truly yours, is your essential nature, your spirit, your authentic self. When you connect with that part of yourself, when you wake up to your own magnificence, everything shifts. You stop needing validation because you're already validated from within. You stop seeking approval because you approve of yourself. You stop waiting for permission to be yourself because you realize you never needed permission in the first place. You were born with the right to be exactly who you are. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be saying, but you don't know what I've done. You don't know the mistakes I've made. You don't know how many times I've failed. You don't know the things I'm ashamed of. And you're right, I don't know your specific story. But I do know this, your past does not define you unless you let it. Your mistakes are not who you are. They're what you did at a moment in time when you didn't know better, when you were hurt, when you were confused, when you were disconnected from your true self. Forgiveness isn't just about letting others off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of the past. It's about recognizing that you did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. And now you have more awareness. Now you know better. Now you can choose differently. That's not weakness. That's growth. That's evolution. That's being human. Someone waking up about you right now is seeing this growth. They're recognizing how far you've come. They're noticing the changes you've made, even the ones you think are too small to matter. They're seeing your effort, your commitment, your resilience. They're understanding that who you are today is not who you were yesterday, and who you'll be tomorrow is still being created. And this person who's waking up about you, they might express it, or they might not. They might tell you how they feel, or they might keep it to themselves. But the energy of their awakening is already affecting your life. You might feel it as a subtle shift in how they interact with you. You might notice they're more attentive, more caring, more present, or you might not notice anything at all on the surface, but something has changed in the invisible realm where all real change happens first. Because here's what most people don't understand. Everything is energy first before it becomes form. Every relationship, every opportunity, every change in your life begins as an energetic shift. Someone thinking about you differently is already creating a different reality. Someone appreciating you is already sending that appreciation out into the universe, and the universe responds to that frequency. This is why it's so important to monitor what you think about yourself. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, if you're always focusing on what's wrong with you, if you're perpetually disappointed in yourself, you're broadcasting that frequency. And the universe, which is always listening, always responding, brings you more experiences that match that frequency. It's not punishment. It's not bad luck. It's just the law of attraction working perfectly, giving you more of whatever you're focused on. But when you start to wake up about yourself, when you start to see yourself through the eyes of love instead of judgment, when you start to appreciate your own unique gifts and talents, you broadcast a completely different frequency. And then the universe brings you people who see you that way too. It brings you opportunities that match your new self-concept. It brings you experiences that reflect your new understanding of who you are. This is not magical thinking. This is spiritual law. Like attracts like. What you put out comes back to you. As within, so without. These aren't just nice sayings. They're descriptions of how reality actually works. Your external world is a mirror of your internal world. Always has been, always will be. So when someone is waking up about you right now, see it as confirmation that you're waking up about yourself. See it as evidence that the work you're doing on yourself, the healing you're doing, the growing you're doing, is working. See it as a sign that you're on the right path, that you're becoming more aligned with your true self, that you're letting go of the false beliefs that have held you back. And if you're not seeing this evidence yet in your external world, don't worry. Don't lose faith. Don't give up. The lag time between internal change and external manifestation is different for everyone. Sometimes it happens quickly. Sometimes it takes longer, but it always happens eventually if you stay consistent with your new way of thinking and being. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be completely healed or completely awakened. You just have to be willing. Willing to see yourself differently, willing to question the old stories, willing to try a new approach, willing to be kind to yourself, willing to believe that maybe, just maybe, you're more wonderful than you've been giving yourself credit for. And here's something beautiful. When you wake up about yourself, you naturally start waking up about others too. You start seeing the light in them. You start recognizing their struggles and their strengths. You start having more compassion, more understanding, more love. Because when you're not so busy defending and protecting your false self, when you're not so consumed with your own insecurities and fears, you have space to really see other people. This is how healing spreads. This is how love multiplies. This is how the world changes. One person wakes up about themselves, then they help others wake up, and those people help others, and it ripples out in ways we can't even measure. Your awakening matters. Your healing matters. Your decision to see yourself truthfully and lovingly matters more than you know. Right now, someone is waking up about you, but the question is, are you waking up about you? Are you ready to let go of the old story? Are you ready to stop believing the lies? Are you ready to see yourself as you truly are, magnificent, worthy, deserving, capable, powerful, lovable, exactly as you are right now? You don't have to wait until you lose weight. You don't have to wait until you make more money. You don't have to wait until you find the right relationship or get the right job or achieve the right status. You can decide right now, in this moment, to wake up about yourself. You can choose right now to see yourself through the eyes of truth instead of the eyes of fear. And when you do that, something miraculous happens. The people around you start to reflect that new understanding back to you. They start treating you differently because you're treating yourself differently. They start respecting you more because you respect yourself more. They start loving you more openly because you're loving yourself more openly. Not because they've changed, but because you have. Not because they suddenly became better people, but because you're no longer settling for less than you deserve. This is personal power. Not the kind that tries to control others or manipulate situations. Not the kind that needs to dominate or prove anything, but the kind that comes from knowing who you are and standing firmly in that truth. The kind that doesn't need validation because it's already validated from within. The kind that doesn't fear rejection because it knows its worth is inherent, not conditional. Someone is waking up about you right now, and it's changing the trajectory of your life. It's opening doors you didn't even know were there. It's creating opportunities you couldn't have planned for. It's bringing you connections you couldn't have forced. Because when someone sees you truly, when they recognize your value, when they appreciate your authentic self, they want to support you, help you, collaborate with you, love you, be near you. But remember, their awakening about you is really a mirror of your own awakening about yourself. They can only see in you what you're ready to be seen. They can only appreciate in you what you're willing to own. They can only love in you what you're no longer hiding. So the real work, the important work, is your internal work. It's your decision to see yourself clearly. It's your choice to love yourself fully. It's your commitment to being authentically yourself. And when you make that commitment, when you decide that you're done hiding, done pretending, done diminishing yourself, done apologizing for existing, everything changes. Not overnight, maybe. Not all at once, perhaps. But steadily, surely, inevitably. Because you've aligned yourself with truth, and truth always prevails. You've aligned yourself with love, and love always wins. You've aligned yourself with your authentic self, and authenticity always attracts what's meant for you. So many people are waiting for the right time, waiting for the right circumstances, waiting until they feel ready, waiting until they're sure. But here's what I've learned. You'll never feel completely ready. You'll never be completely sure. You'll never have all the answers. You have to start before you're ready. You have to take the leap before you can see the net. You have to believe in yourself before you have all the evidence. Someone waking up about you right now is giving you that evidence. It's showing you that you are seen, you are valued, you are appreciated, but don't wait for that external validation to decide you're worthy. Decide it now. Decide it yourself. Give yourself the validation you've been waiting for. Give yourself the approval you've been seeking. Give yourself the love you've been wanting. Because here's the truth. You can't receive from others what you're not willing to give yourself. If you don't value yourself, other people's validation will never feel like enough. If you don't love yourself, other people's love will never fill the void. If you don't believe in yourself, other people's belief will never convince you. The only lasting source of worthiness is the one that comes from within. This doesn't mean you don't need people. We're social beings. We're meant to connect, to love, to support each other. But it means you don't need them to complete you. You're already complete. They're not filling a void. They're celebrating what's already there. They're not making you worthy. They're recognizing the worthiness that already exists. When you understand this, relationships become so much richer. Love becomes so much freer. Connection becomes so much more authentic. Because you're not coming from a place of need. You're coming from a place of wholeness. You're not trying to get something. You're trying to share something. You're not looking to be saved. You're looking to co-create. Someone waking up about you right now is seeing this shift in you. They're noticing that you're different. You're more centered. You're more confident. You're more peaceful. You're more yourself. And it's attractive. Not in a superficial way, but in a real, substantial, meaningful way, because authenticity is magnetic, self-love is attractive. Inner peace is powerful. And the more you cultivate these qualities within yourself, the more you'll attract people who appreciate them. You'll stop attracting people who need you to be small so they can feel big. You'll stop attracting people who need you to be broken so they can feel like the fixer. You'll stop attracting people who need you to doubt yourself so they can control you. Instead, you'll attract people who celebrate your growth, support your healing, and encourage your authenticity. This is what happens when you wake up about yourself. Your whole world rearranges itself to match your new understanding. People who can't resonate with the new you will naturally fall away. Not because you're rejecting them, but because there's no longer a vibrational match. And new people will come in, people who match where you are now, people who can meet you at this new level of awareness and authenticity. Don't mourn the relationships that end when you change. Bless them and release them. They served a purpose. They taught you something. They were part of your path, but now you're on a different part of the path, and you need different companions. Trust that the right people will show up at the right time. They always do when you're being true to yourself. Someone waking up about you right now might be one of those new people, or it might be someone who's been in your life all along but is finally ready to see you clearly. Either way, it's happening because you're ready for it. It's happening because you've done the work. It's happening because you've raised your frequency. It's happening because you've decided you're worth it, and you are worth it. You're worth the effort it takes to heal. You're worth the courage it takes to change. You're worth the discomfort of growth. You're worth the risk of being authentic. You're worth the vulnerability of being seen. You're worth the patience of waiting for what's right instead of settling for what's available. You're worth all of it and more. When you really get this, when you really understand your worth at the cellular level, you stop tolerating things that diminish you. You stop accepting treatment that disrespects you. You stop staying in situations that drain you, not from a place of arrogance or superiority, but from a place of self-honoring. You're simply recognizing that your time, your energy, your life is precious, and you get to choose how to spend it. This isn't selfish. This is self-care. This is wisdom. This is spiritual maturity, because when you honor yourself, you teach others how to honor you. When you respect yourself, you set the standard for how you'll be treated. When you love yourself, you create the foundation for all other love in your life. Someone waking up about you right now is learning this lesson through you. They're seeing how you've changed, how you've grown, how you've started honoring yourself, and it's teaching them something. Maybe it's showing them what's possible. Maybe it's inspiring them to do their own work. Maybe it's holding up a mirror to where they've been taking you for granted. Whatever the lesson is, your growth is serving them, even if they don't say it. This is the ripple effect of awakening. When you change, everything around you has to change to accommodate the new you. Some people will rise to meet you. Some won't. Some will celebrate your growth. Some will feel threatened by it. Some will come closer. Some will move away. All of that is okay. All of that is part of the process. Your job isn't to control how others respond to your growth. Your job is to keep growing. And right now, in this moment, as someone is waking up about you, you have a choice. You can dismiss it. You can deflect it. You can tell yourself they're wrong or they don't really see you. Or you can receive it. You can let it in. You can allow yourself to be seen, to be appreciated, to be valued. You can let it be evidence that you're on the right path, that your work is paying off, that you're becoming who you were always meant to be. Receiving is just as important as giving. In fact, your ability to receive determines how much good can flow into your life. If you deflect compliments, if you dismiss appreciation, if you reject love, you're literally pushing away the very things you say you want. You have to be willing to receive. You have to be willing to let people see you. You have to be willing to believe that maybe, just maybe, they're right about you. This takes practice, especially if you're used to being invisible, to playing small, to deflecting attention. But it gets easier. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You start to realize that letting people appreciate you isn't arrogant. It's generous. You're allowing them the joy of giving. You're allowing them to see beauty. You're allowing them to express love. You're giving them a gift by receiving their gift. Someone is waking up about you right now, and they want to tell you, they want to show you. They want you to know how much you matter, how much you've impacted them, how much they value you. Will you let them? Will you receive it? Will you let it nourish you? Or will you brush it off, minimize it, tell yourself they don't mean it? Your response to their awakening matters, not because it affects your worth, but because it affects your experience of life. If you can't receive love, appreciation, and recognition when it comes, you'll always feel starved no matter how much people offer. But if you can open yourself to receive, if you can let it in, if you can say thank you and actually feel it, you'll feel nourished, you'll feel seen, you'll feel connected. And that feeling, that experience of being truly seen and valued, will reinforce your new understanding of yourself. It will strengthen your self-love. It will confirm your worthiness. Not because you need their validation, but because it aligns with what you now know to be true about yourself. It's an echo of your own inner knowing reflected back to you through another person. This is the dance of relationships. We're all mirrors for each other. We're all reflecting back various aspects of each other. When someone wakes up about you, they're showing you something about yourself that you're ready to own. They're highlighting a quality, a strength, a gift that you've been developing. They're confirming what your soul already knows, but your mind might still doubt. So pay attention to what people are noticing about you. Pay attention to what they're appreciating, complimenting, valuing. These aren't random. They're clues. They're showing you what's emerging in you, what's becoming more visible, what you're ready to fully step into. Don't dismiss them. Don't minimize them. Learn from them. Let them guide you toward fuller expression of your authentic self. Right now, someone is waking up about you, and this is just the beginning. As you continue to wake up about yourself, as you continue to grow and heal and become more authentically you, more people will wake up too. More people will see you. More people will appreciate you. More people will value you. Not because you're trying to impress them or win them over, but because you're simply being yourself, and that's magnetic, that's powerful, that's irresistible. Your authentic self is your greatest gift to the world. Not some improved version of yourself, not some future version when you finally got it all together, but the you that exists right now, with all your quirks and flaws and struggles and strengths, the real you, the unfiltered you, the you that shows up even when you're not perfect, even when you're uncertain, even when you're still figuring it out. That's the you someone is waking up about right now. That's the you they're seeing and valuing and appreciating. Not some fake version, not some carefully curated version, the real you. And the more you can show that version, the more you can be that version, the more you can love that version, the more others will wake up about you too. This is your invitation. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to finally, completely, wholeheartedly wake up about yourself. To see yourself as you truly are. To love yourself as you deserve to be loved. To honor yourself as the precious, unique, irreplaceable being that you are. Someone else is already doing it. Someone else is already seeing it. Now it's your turn. Wake up about yourself. The world is waiting for the real you.